A very good morning everyone. This is Akira, Assistant Professor in EIE department. Today I am going to teach about rectifiers. Okay, that rectifier is one of the application of PN junction diode. So in previous session we discussed about rectifiers, classification of rectifier. Okay, so first what is mean by rectifier? So rectifier is defined as, so it is an electronic device. It's convert AC voltage to pulsating DC voltage, that is a unidirectional voltage. Okay, this is the definition of rectifier. Next, this is the classification of rectifier. So here rectifiers are classified into two types. One is a half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier. Again, full wave rectifiers are classified into two types. That is a full wave rectifier with a center tapped transformer and the full wave rectifier with bridge rectifier. Okay, so in previous session already we have explained about half wave rectifier. So now today we discuss about full wave rectifier. Okay, this circuit diagram shows the full wave rectifier. So in half wave rectifier we are using only one diode here, one diode in half wave rectifier. So now in full wave rectifier we are using two diodes. Okay, so main drawback of the half wave rectifier is when we are applying the full wave signal, we get only one half cycle. Remaining half cycle it's zero. We get zero output here in half wave rectifier. That is the main drawback of half wave rectifier. To overcome that drawback, we are using the full wave rectifier. Okay, so in full wave rectifier, the main blocks are the main important components are, one is the transformer and two diodes and one more is load resistor. Okay, so in this transformer type is center tapped transformer. Okay, so in half wave rectifier we are using step down transformer. In full wave rectifier we are using center tapped transformer. Okay, so already we know the input of transformer, that is the AC signal. Okay, this signal is the input of the transformer. Okay, next, when we have applying the positive half cycle, when we are applying the positive half cycle to the diode, to the circuit, then diode D1 is acts as a short circuit. Why? Because see here, when this point is A point and this point is B point, when we are applying the positive half cycle, then this point A becomes positive with respect to C and point B becomes negative with respect to C. Okay, this center tap transformer. Okay, so here this is the positive voltage and this one we can get negative voltage. Okay, this is the center point here. So point A becomes positive with respect to C. Okay, so when it is positive means the anode of the diode becomes positive with respect to cathode. Then it acts as a just forward biasing. So in the forward biasing, the diode is acts as a short circuit. Okay, then the current flow through the diode only. So next, see here at the point B, it is a negative voltage with respect to point C. Okay, so the negative voltage is applied to anode terminal of the diode. Then what happened? So it is like a reverse biasing. So it is a open circuit. Okay, it is a open circuit, is as a reverse biasing. In the reverse biasing, diode is acts as a open circuit. There is no current flow through the diode D2. Only diode D1 conducts when we have applying the positive signal, positive cycle. Okay, so then this shows the current flow direction through the diode and the load resistor to point A. So then we will get the positive half cycle. When we are applying the positive half cycle, then we can get the positive half cycle across the load resistor RL. Okay, this circuit shows the positive half cycle. This is for positive half cycle. Next, when we are applying the negative half cycle, see here we are applying the negative half cycle. Then see here, this point A becomes negative with respect to C. So So this negative signal, negative voltage, when we are applying negative voltage to the diode, that is the anode of the diode, then it is like a reverse biasing. Negative voltage is applied to the anode terminal, then it is like a reverse biasing. In the reverse biasing, it acts as a open circuit. So diode D1 does not conduct here. So there is no current flow through the diode D1. Okay, next at the same time, so at point B, it acts as at point B is a positive with respect to C. So when we are applying the negative voltage, so then what happened here? So the negative voltage is applied to the anode terminal, then it conducts here. Only diode D2 conducts, so it acts as a forward biasing here. So what happened in the forward biasing, diode D acts as a open circuit here, short circuit here. Then the current flow through diode D2 only. So when we are applying the negative cycle, then the diode D1 does not conduct here, only diode D2 conduct here. So total current flow through diode D2. So this shows the current flow direction. Okay, then we will get the positive half cycle only. So when we are applying the negative half cycle, then only we can get the positive half cycle. Okay, in the full wave rectifier type, when we are applying both the signals, when the positive half cycle also we can get the signal, so negative half cycle also we can get the voltage. So here we can get the full voltage. When we are applying the full cycle, then full cycle, then we can get the full cycle in the output of full wave rectifier. Okay, so here it eliminated the drawback of half wave rectifier. In the half wave rectifier, when we are applying the negative voltage, we can get this 0 voltage here. But here, when we are applying the negative voltage also, we can get the output voltage. Okay, so this is the working of full wave rectifier. Is it clear? Next. So next, these are the advantage of full wave rectifier. So compared to half wave rectifier, so here efficiency is high, efficiency is increased here. Next, the ripple factor is decreased here. So what is the efficiency of half wave rectifier? Just that is a 46%. So here the efficiency is increased here, 81.2%. Next, ripple factor is decreased here. In the half wave rectifier, the ripple factor is 1.21. So in half wave rectifier, we can get the more ripples at the output of the rectifier. In the full wave rectifier, the ripple factor is decreased here. Its ripple factor is 0.48. So the ripple factor is reduced here in the full wave rectifier type. So next we can get the large DC power output. Okay. So in the half wave rectifier, we can get only for 1/2 cycle. We can get only 1/2 cycle. In full wave rectifier, we can get for the both cycles here, both positive and negative half cycles, we can get the output here. So the large DC power output and the ripple factor is decreased here. Next, disadvantages. Disadvantage of full wave rectifier is, main disadvantages we are using here, center tap transformer. Okay, so compared to step down and step up transformers, center tap transformer cost is high. So this is the drawback of full wave rectifier type. And the peak inverse voltage is also increased here compared to half wave rectifier. So in half wave rectifier, the peak inverse voltage is Vm, and the peak inverse voltage of full wave rectifier is 2 Vm. Okay, I will explain this ripple factor, efficiency and peak inverse after this slide. So now the peak inverse voltage is higher, is increased compared to half wave rectifier. When the peak inverse voltage is increased, is nothing but this diode's cost is high compared to half wave rectifier diodes. Okay, what are the diodes are used in the half wave rectifier? So that cost is less compared to PIV diodes here. PIV is nothing but peak inverse voltage. Okay, these are the advantages and disadvantage of full wave rectifier here. So now I would like to explain these factors, important factors. Okay, so now I am explaining the these factors. So now the first factor is ripple factor. So now I would like to explain about the ripple factor. So first, what is mean by ripple factor here? So first, what is the input voltage? Input voltage. Let input voltage that is given to the transformer of primary winding. So that the input voltage Vi is equal to Vm sine omega t. Already we know this. So Vm is always greater than V gamma. So here V gamma is nothing but cut-in voltage here. Cut-in voltage. So this cut-in voltage is for silicon is for 0.7 volts and 0.3 volts for germanium here. Okay, this is the cut-in volt. This Vm is always, Vm is nothing but peak voltage. So Vm is always greater than the V gamma. So here V gamma is nothing but cut-in voltage of the diode. So that V gamma value is 0.7 volts for silicon and 0.3 volts for germanium. Okay, so now we have to calculate the important factors. In that first factor is the ripple factor here. So ripple factor. So ripple factor is defined as ratio of RMS value to the, it is defined as the ratio of RMS value of AC component to the DC component. RMS value of AC component to the DC component. So in the DC component in the output. Okay, so is known as ripple factor. Okay, ripple factor. So already we know this. So ripple factor is nothing but ratio of RMS value of AC component, that is VRRMS, to the DC component, where VRRMS is equal to and root of VRMS square minus VDC square. Okay, so then the ripple factor is nothing but and root of VRMS square minus VDC square by VDC square. When we have simplified this equation, then we can get a ripple factor is equal to and root of VRMS square by VDC square minus 1. This is the definition equation of ripple factor, equation 1. Okay, now we have to calculate the both VRMS and VDC square here. So now we have to calculate the VRMS VDC square value. So VDC square or V average VDC value, not VDC square, VDC. So VDC is nothing but 1 by pi. VDC is equal to 1 by pi integral 0 to pi Vi d omega t. Vi d omega t. So already we know the value of Vi, that is the input voltage, 0 to pi Vm sine omega t d omega t. So here the Vm is nothing but peak value, that is the constant. So Vm by pi integral sine theta, that is minus cos theta. So integral sine omega t is minus cos omega t, limits 0 to pi here. So Vm by pi minus cos pi minus of minus cos 0. Just apply limit here. So Vm by pi minus cos pi. Cos pi is nothing but minus 1. Minus into minus plus 1. Minus into minus plus cos 0 is nothing but 1. So 2 Vm by pi here. So then finally Vdc is nothing but 2 Vm by pi. Vdc. So this is equation 2. Okay, from this equation we can write it as a IDC. From the Ohm's law, IDC is equal to VDC by RL, that is the load resistor. So from this IDC is equal to, VDC is nothing but 2 Vm by pi here, apply here, then 2 Vm by pi RL. Okay, again Vm and Vm by RL is nothing but Im. Okay, from the Ohm's law only. So IDC is equal to 2 Im by pi. This is equation 3. Okay, now we have to consider, okay, so if the diode forward resistance, if the diode forward resistance RF and the transformer secondary resistance RS, transformer secondary resistance, that is RS, is considered into the account, considered as included, then this VDC is nothing but 2 Vm by pi minus IDC into RS plus RF. This is the VDC when we are considering the diode forward resistance and the transformer secondary resistance, equation 4. Next IDC, that is VDC by RS plus RF plus RL. Then already we know this VDC value 2 Vm by pi, then IDC is equal to 2 Vm by pi RS plus RF plus RL. Okay, this is the DC current and DC voltage when we have considered this diode forward resistance RF and the secondary resistance RS. This is equation 5. Okay, and next we have to calculate the value of RMS value. Okay, then finally RMS, the value, that is Vrms. So Vrms is nothing but Vrms is equal to and root of 1 by pi integral 0 to pi Vi square d omega t. Okay, so already we know the input voltage Vi, so Vrms is equal and root of 1 by pi 0 to pi, Vi is nothing but Vm sine square omega t d omega t. So here we know the Vm is nothing but constant term, so So Vm square, root Vm square is nothing but Vm. So, and root of 1 by pi 0 to pi sine square theta is nothing but 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. So we can write it as 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2 d omega t. And integrate separate with these two terms here. So here Vm and root of 1 by pi. So integral 2 also constant here. So integral 1, that is the omega t. So 0 to pi minus integral cos 2 omega t, that is sine 2 omega t by 2, that is 0 to pi. Okay, so Vm and root of 1 by 2 pi, apply the limits here. So pi minus 0 minus sine pi minus, that is sine 2 pi by 2 minus sine 0 pi by 2. So sine any pi is 0. So Vm and root of 1 by 2 pi into pi, this term complete term is 0, sine n pi is 0, sine 2 pi 0, sine 0, pi also 0 here. So pi cancel here, then Vrms is equal to Vm by root 2 here. Vrms is equal to Vm by root 2. Okay, so this is the equation number 6. This is the equation number 6. Okay, now equation 2 and equation 3 substitute in equation 1. Okay, so now equation 2 and 6 substitute in equation 1. Then we can get a ripple factor here. So finally the ripple factor is equal, and root of Vrms value is Vm by root 2 whole square by 2 Vm by pi. Vdc value is 2 Vm by pi whole square minus 1 here. So then Vm square by root 2 square is nothing but 2. Then pi square by 4 Vm square minus 1. Vm square cancel here. And then pi square by 2 4 j 8 minus 1. Then finally ripple factor is 0.482. Okay, so this ripple factor is reduced here, so compared to half wave rectifier, so we can get the less ripples in the output of full wave rectifier type. Okay, now I would like to explain about efficiency. So what is mean by efficiency? So efficiency is nothing but the ratio of DC power to the AC power. So efficiency, first the ratio of DC output power to AC input power. Is known as rectifier efficiency. Okay, it is denoted as like this. So DC output power, that is PDC by PAC. So PDC is nothing but here VDC square by RL by PAC is nothing but VRMS square by RL. So here VDC is nothing but 2Vm by pi whole square by RL into RL by, so VRMS square is nothing but Vm by root 2 whole square here. So RL cancel, then 4Vm square by pi square into this root 2 whole square shifted to the denominator, so 2 by Vm square. So Vm square cancel here, finally 8 by pi square. So then efficiency of the full wave rectifier is 81.2%. Efficiency is increased compared to half wave rectifier. Half wave rectifier efficiency is just 40.6 here, 40.6 in half wave rectifier. Here the efficiency of full wave rectifier is 81.2%. So efficiency is also increased, ripple factor is decreased. These are the two advantages of half wave rectifier. Okay, sorry, full wave rectifier. Next, transformer utilization factor. So now transformer utilization factor is nothing but the factor which indicates how much is the utilization of transformer in the circuit, which indicates how much utilization of transformer in the circuit, is called as transformer utilization factor. Okay, TUF. Okay, it is the ratio of transformer utilization factor is the ratio of DC power delivered to the load, to the AC power rating of transformer. Okay, so here the TUF is nothing but here PDC by TUF is equal PDC by, that is the DC power delivered to the load, by AC rating of secondary winding. Okay, so here the PDC is nothing but, in terms of current here, IDC square into RL by AC rating of the secondary winding, that is the 2 VRMS into IRMS. Normally for the half wave rectifier we are using step down transformer, no? So at that time we are just the AC rating of secondary winding is VRMS into IRMS. So here we are using center tap transformer, so the AC rating of secondary winding is 2 VRMS into IRMS here. So already we know the IDC value, that is 2 Im by pi whole square RL by 2 into VRMS value is Vm by 2 root 2, IRMS value is Im by 2. This is for secondary winding here. So 4 Im square by pi, simplified, RL into 2 root 2. So here 2 cancel here. So root 2 by so again Vm is nothing but Im into RL, Im into RL into Im. So Im square cancel, RL cancel. Then the transformer utilization factor of full wave rectifier is 4 root 2 by pi. Okay, this value is 0.573. Okay, this transformer utilization is also increased is compared to half wave rectifier. So transformer utilization factor is also increased here. Next, peak inverse voltage. Next factor is peak inverse voltage here. Peak inverse voltage, PIV. So peak inverse voltage is defined as the maximum reverse voltage. Maximum reverse voltage that a diode can withstand, that a diode can withstand without destroying the junction, without destroying the junction. This is nothing but the definition of PIV, peak inverse voltage, maximum reverse voltage that a diode can withstand without destroying any junction. Okay, so next, the maximum voltage across the half wave secondary winding is Vm. Okay, the maximum voltage. So see here, now what is the input of the full wave rectifier? This is the input of full wave rectifier. So the maximum voltage is Vm here. This is reverse voltage is minus Vm. So as the maximum voltage across the half secondary winding is Vm. So half secondary winding. So this is first half. This is the next second half. And this voltage, peak voltage is also Vm. This peak voltage is also Vm. So as the maximum voltage across half secondary winding, is Vm. Okay, so the all of the secondary voltage appear across the non-conducting diode here. So hence the PIV, peak inverse voltage is the twice the maximum voltage across the half secondary winding. That is PIV is twice the maximum voltage across the half secondary winding, Hence that is PIV is equal to twice the maximum voltage across the half secondary winding is Vm. So twice 2 into Vm. That is the PIV of full wave rectifier is 2 Vm. So PIV is also increased here. So then the PIV is increased, the diode cost is also increased. That is the drawback. That is one of the drawback of disadvantage of full wave rectifier. Okay. So now form factor. form factor. So it is the ratio of RMS value of output voltage, ratio of RMS value of output voltage to the average value of the output voltage, that is the DC value of output voltage. So it is equal, form factor is nothing but Vrms to the Vdc. So Vrms value is Vm by root 2, Vdc value is 2 Vm by pi. Vm cancel here. Then the form factor is pi by 2 root 2, so is equal 1.11. Next, peak factor. Peak factor is the ratio of peak value of output voltage to the peak value of output voltage to the RMS value of output voltage. That is Vm by peak value of output voltage is here. This is the output waveform of full wave rectifier. So what is the peak value? Vm. So peak value of output voltage is Vm by RMS value of output voltage is Vrms, that is Vm by root 2. So Vm cancel. Then the peak factor is root 2 here. Okay, finally what we have calculated here. So what are the derivations are calculated here? First one is ripple factor, that is ripple factor is decreased here. What is the ripple factor value? Ripple factor of full wave rectifier is 0.482. This is the full wave rectifier type. In half wave rectifier it is 1.21 ripple factor. Efficiency is also increased here, 81.2%, here 40.6%. Next, transformer utilization factor is also increased here. So this is here 0.573, here 0.237. This is the half wave rectifier. Next, peak inverse voltage is for the full wave rectifier is 2 Vm. For the half wave rectifier is Vm here. Next, these are the calculations. Important points, important factors in the half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier type. Okay, so thank you. So these are the important factors what we have discussed now. So these are very, very important for the problems. Next class we discuss about bridge rectifier type. Okay, thank you.